Ladies and gentlemen, you're joined by Javon Cross. I want to welcome you for everyone tuning in and joining. It is the interview. I'm going to be interviewing the one and only Mr. Quinton Fabian Iyer as well as Mr. Anand Governor. As you guys know, took social media by storm when it was informed that Pastor Quinton joined Mr. Governor at AKPC. So I'm just going to slide over to Pastor Quinton for a quick interview. So Mr. Kuntanaya, so currently you are the pastor of Greater Times International. What motivated you to join the property industry?
That's a very interesting question, because you did. And I think you're going to remember this. Javon and I were in a car. I was taking him to show him a few properties. And Javon is a first-time home buyer and looking at some properties. So I was taking him around with an agent, and we were looking at a few properties. And whilst we were in the car, I remember your words. You said, "Pastor, you know so much about property. Why don't you get in and sell property?" And my response to you, Javon, at that point was, that's somebody else's responsibility. Let them do that. And I really wasn't looking at getting involved in it. But I think you sparked something which was there all along, because I've always had a fascination for property. In the past 22 years of working in the community, there are lots of folks out there that will tell you and attest to the fact that I have helped them and assisted them in purchasing their properties, in the sense of giving them advice on what property to buy, where to buy, how to invest in property. I've helped people with property renovations. Even though you're a pastor of a church, people still look to you for advice for all of these matters. And especially when it comes to property, property is such a big thing. It's not a small decision that people make. It's a lifetime decision. When you think of some properties, you listen to some folks, they'll tell you that people keep property in their homes and in their families for generations. And so with that in mind, I've always found that people don't take that decision lightly. So even though they may have a relationship with a realtor, or they may know a realtor, but people always come to the pastor sometimes for advice and counsel and wisdom as to how to make that decision. And so when you questioned me, that was one segment of it. But 4 days later, Mr. Anand Governor here called me, and whilst we were talking, he was speaking to me, and he said that it was on his mind. I was on his mind, and he wanted to know if I would be interested in getting involved with AKPC in property, in the property industry, as a property consultant. And then I thought, now Javon just said this. 4 days later, Anand's calling me. There must be some divine connection to this. And something's happening here. So at that point, it really sparked an interest. And I thought, you know what? I remember the Apostle Paul speaking at one stage to a group of people. And he said this to them. He said, I don't want to be a burden to you. I can go and make tents for a season. And he went and repaired tents for a season. But the place that I find myself in, but the church is still my priority. I am still the senior pastor of this congregation, of this church, but I also believe that we can wear different caps, and we can maintain our integrity when we're doing things and we're serving our communities at large. And as a result, my emphasis was that I would continue to manage and to pioneer and to lead this congregation called Greater Times International, and look at how I can better service my congregants and the community of Pietermaritzburg and by doing that, I would be able to provide this added valued service to the community. So that's how this whole thing came about. But I also, Javon, at this point want to say that this does not take away my focus from my priority, which is the church. And I guess that's one of the things that attracted me with this new venture, is that Anand understood that aspect of it, that this is not a full-time job for me. This is not, it's not like, my emphasis now has changed. I get some people saying, so how's your new job? It's not a new job. It's an added valued service. That's how I see it. Added valued service to my congregants and to the community of Pietermaritzburg.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man of the moment, the founder of AKPC, Mr. Anand Governor. So firstly, Mr. Governor, can you tell me why did you choose to team up with Mr. Iyer?
Actually, I've been inspired by him during the lockdown and the COVID-19 when he was in hospital, and he had broadcasts from the hospital, and he was delivering positive messages, encouraging people, and I felt that, you know what, here's a man motivating people. He's a community man. In his situation, he was able to deliver positive things, and I felt that, you know what, there's a person I would like for him to be in my company.
Lovely, lovely. A great experience to start off a great business venture. Secondly, how long have you been in the property industry?
30 years in the industry. I started off with my family business. We were involved in property developments, construction, and real estate. And 18 years ago, I've branched off my own, created my own brand called AKPC.
So what is the mission statement for AKPC?
Actually, it's Bato Pele, people first. And whenever we function, our clients were first when we dealt with them.
Interesting. So what made you choose this field and also for you to still be here?
Actually, the field found me. I've been mentored by my family. We were involved, as I said, in developments, property sales, leasing, and construction.
Lovely. So we both can agree that the market is very competitive at the moment. Obviously, it's based on who gets in the door first. But what's different about you, and why should people come to you despite the competition out there?
Client service and client after-sales service. That's important to us. Sellers are important, and also buyers are important. We've got to ensure that the both parties are happy.
Okay. And do you feel that this is a good time to buy in the current climate?
There's never a good time nor a bad time to buy. There's always an opportunity that people are always looking for properties.
And some clients, just like myself, don't have the industry knowledge that's expedient to ensure that I go to the right people. So what would you be able to tell me that would give me the peace of mind to come to AKPC without any hassle?
It's our experience over the years. I mean, we've been in industry over 30 years. It's not a startup company where we ran it for 6 years and we changed our career. We've been in this market for over 30 years, so we actually have passion about it, and we make sure that if a buyer is buying, he's buying right.
And what advice would you like to give to clients and first-time homeowners that are looking to buy new properties?
Don't rush and buy. New buyers are always excited. The first property they see, they're interested in it and they want to close on it. Do comparables. Look at other properties, compare properties. Then make that decision. And also call in family, if they don't buy from us. They're always important for them to call people in the industry like builders to advise them, give them an opinion on the construction of the home, the finishes. They need that advice.
And just like myself, as I'm in the position of buying a new home at the moment, what that also makes me ask is I put myself in a position whereby could be a time in the future when I could be close to losing a home. And I know a lot of other people, like friends and family, that have come close to actually losing their property. Would your company be able to assist in any way possible?
We've always been involved in that. Lots of people, when they are in difficulty, they don't want to talk to the banks. They shy away from the banks. And we always encourage them, they need to talk to the bankers. And where we can assist them is, we can actually negotiate on the behalf of the banks. And we call a thing called private treaty sale agreements, where we negotiate with the bank, secure a buyer for them, and negotiate with the bank to accept a transaction of that nature.
So what you're saying is, if that people have that or are in that position, they would be able to come to you and you'd be able to assist them?
Yes, for sure. A lot of homes we prevented from foreclosure by doing these private treaty sale agreements, because it's a negative for a person to have their home repossessed. That's the last thing we want to see.
Definitely. And what other services do you guys offer?
We do sales and leasing. We also involved in industrial and commercial sales and leasing, residential sales and leasing. We provide evaluation service to attorneys when there's late estates. They require that we provide that service. Also, we have latent and patent defects. Sometimes someone may buy a property and they discover after 2-3 months the wall is cracking. So they call us in. Because of our knowledge of construction, we can give them the proper advice on that. As I said to you, we do private treaty sale agreements. Before a property gets foreclosed, we try to negotiate it's not like a normal sale agreement. We do private treaty sale agreements where before the house gets foreclosed, we try to secure a deal before the bank forecloses on it.
All right, so I think at this point I just want to conclude this brief discussion that we've been having with just trying to help you to understand, as a potential buyer, as somebody who is going to make some great decisions in your life. And like I said, I bring to this table a wealth of information, a wealth of understanding and knowledge, and that is based on what people go through when they're making this crucial decision to purchase a home. You know, purchasing a home is not like purchasing a piece of furniture. Purchasing a home is not like purchasing even a motor vehicle at times. Purchasing a home, in many occasions, and based on the relationship that I had with people, and I have with people today, I've realized that people place huge emphasis on that decision. And so I want to just say that I am super excited to be connected with a man of such caliber as Anand Governor and the company AKPC, because just being with them for the last week, I've watched how they treat the clients. Clients have become family. We met with the client today that came back after many years and spoke about all the good things that Anand had invested in him and the advice that Anand had given him. And so today he was back with Anand and saying, listen, I want you to relook at my property and some other properties that he was looking at as well. And based on that, I realized that this Anand's not a one-shot man. And when I talk about a one-shot man, it's, you know, sometimes in the sale industry, this is what I've seen. People will hit you for what they can get out of you. And that's it. It ends there. I can say this today that I am connected to a man who has great influence in our community, in our city. But besides that, he has a love and a passion for what he's doing. And because he has a love and a passion for what he's doing, he won't interfere and he won't mess and he won't downgrade his value systems in that area. So, you know, for me, Javon, I think I want to say that you're in good hands with AKPC. because let me say this to you, and here's a good example. Javon is a member of my congregation. We're going to have him placed in a home that could be a home that he will give to his children and his children's children. And I would not want somebody who I'm associated with, who I treat as a son, to go and invest in something that he's going to lose money on, but it's going to be a valued investment for him. So thank you for taking the time to listen to us today. And I pray that you will find confidence in coming to us when you need or you have a need for property. God bless you.